Buckeye Blitz here on Fanstream Sports, powered by DSP Media. Follow me on the X, @FitHappens, where you can find me. Also, download the app. It's on Apple and Android, both now, the Fanstream Sports app. Check it out. Lots of great programming, round-the-clock programming. Myself, Scott Hamilton's show is a great one to listen to also. Obviously, Tim Ham has his thing, IndyCar Tim Ham. And there's so many great things, MMA, and the Fighting Irish Blitz. There's so many great things to listen to all across the country on the Fanstream Sports Network. So go check that out. Download the app, again, free on Apple and Android. FanstreamSports.com is the other place to go. And also on Facebook, you can go to the Fanstream Sports Facebook page, like, listen, subscribe to all those things, interact with the hosts and also other individuals, other fans of the different shows. All right, so lots to talk about today. And we'll talk Ohio State Rutgers on the next one. We'll talk men's basketball, women's basketball, all that stuff. I wanted to hop on, though, today to talk about Bobby Knight, who passed away at the age of 83 on would have been Wednesday evening. He passed away. And Bobby Knight, former Buckeye, born in Orrville, Ohio, played for Ohio State, was on a national championship team there with Jerry Lucas and John Havlicek, coached by Fred Taylor, before going on to coaching at Army, and then obviously famously at Indiana, and then also Texas Tech. So polarizing figure. First coach to 900 wins, has a great coaching tree of guys who did all of those things underneath him that learned the game. Lots of great players as well. And I was thinking about this today, about some of the things about Bobby Knight. When I heard the news, I had kind of the same reaction I had when Woody Hayes died for Ohio State, whereas it's somebody who I know, and there are different levels of being, I don't want to say, I guess flawed is the right word. Bobby Knight and Woody Hayes, both fantastic tacticians, great coaches of in the games, like really tactical individuals who knew how to get the best out of their players, the most out of their players. Bobby Knight was great at that. He had teams that were less talented maybe than other teams and still got the victories. He had his own the way he coached. It was going to be his way. That's the way he did things, and to a fault sometimes. But he was, in my lifetime, I was trying to think about this, he might be the best X's and O's coach in college basketball in my lifetime, which is a huge praise. Also, very flawed individual. There are things that he has done regarding players, regarding the media, regarding some of the comments he made. There are some very big mistakes this man made. But like anyone in our lives, we've got friends of ours, even ourselves sometimes, who are not perfect, who have our flaws. But Bobby Knight, though, like I said, he gold medal winning Olympic team coach, 3-time NCAA champion, and did a lot of great things for college basketball. But where I struggle, though, with Bobby Knight is the kind of the downside of Bobby Knight. And look, go watch the 30 for 30 about Neil Reed on ESPN. Check that out and what happened there when he choked a player. There's the incident, the throwing a chair across the floor. There's the comments about rape that he made, the way he treated certain players. You see the headbutt of, I think, Dean Garrett. He headbutted a player inadvertently at one point in the game, grabbing players, saying some of the things he said, and was not able to admit when he was wrong, which a lot of successful coaches have that flaw, have that personality trait, depending how you look at it. You can say it's a flaw. You can say it's just it's a byproduct of what they do. But he had that. And a lot of other great coaches have had that as well. Vince Lombardi, I think, had the same kind of thing. But if you look at coaches, though, a lot of them had that time, which was why they were successful, but also why they were flawed. Go back and look at Bobby Knight's interview with Jeremy Schaap and look at the way he handled things about the Neil Reed situation, about all the other things in Indiana, the way he handled those things. And it wasn't ideal. And so that's my problem with Bobby Knight. I've had an interaction with Bobby Knight. Wasn't great. I'm not saying it was like a media thing. It was more of a PR thing where I was around him, spoke to him, but it did not. It was not like an ideal situation where I think that he could have handled things better when I saw the way he interacted with people around him, some fans and things like that. So I'm a little biased in that regard. When I made the comparison to Woody Hayes did not make some of the same statements he did to the media the Bobby Knight thing with like the thing where he said something about rape. And again, I'm not getting into that, but that's one of the things he did. I don't think Woody Hayes would ever say something like that. But Woody Hayes and Bobby Knight both were animated on the sideline. I would say that they did try to intimidate officials. I think that's also accurate. I think they both intimidated the media, Bobby Knight on a much different level than Woody did, but they both did that. I think Woody was smart enough. Polish is the wrong word. Maybe it is. Polished enough to understand how to handle the media. Bobby Knight was a bully with the media when it comes to certain things. But in both cases, though, in both Bobby Knight and Woody Hayes, they both had players that would absolutely run through a wall for them, that loved their coaches, that said, these guys took care of me, these guys molded me into the man I am, that kind of thing. Those are all very true. You also have situations where, the stories about Bobby Knight when Fred Taylor, the former coach at Ohio State, Bobby Knight's former coach, was in a hospital dying, and Bobby Knight would go in there secretly without people knowing and just sit there, hold Coach Fred Taylor's hand and talk to him and just be there for him when other people didn't see it. Woody Hayes, same thing. They both did many things behind the scenes to help other people that were not reported. And by design, Knight and Hayes, neither one of them wanted those kinds of things reported. They just wanted to be able to give back to others. And that was a great trait of Bobby Knight, as with Woody Hayes, both great things. But if you go back and listen to all the things Woody Hayes and Bobby Knight both said, some things they did, their coaching tactics are completely outdated now. Neither one of these guys could coach today based on the way the rules we have, society the way it is. They could not be coaches today because of the way they did things. They imposed their will upon their players. They molded their players. It was very much a military type practice, the way that they handled things with their teams. You were going to conform to them. It's different now in college football and college basketball, where there's a lot more flexibility, a lot more give and take in there. It's not so rigid. But Bobby Knight and Woody Hayes are both successful in what they did because of just the timing where it was at. Now, Bobby Knight passed away at the age of 83. So he is a former Buckeye. He did win a national championship as a player on a Buckeye team. He is revered in a lot of ways in the state of Ohio because of his Buckeye ties, his success, and his relationship with Coach Taylor, Havlicek, Lucas, all those things. There was a point in time where he was considered to be maybe the next Ohio State basketball coach. Never happened, but a very successful coaching career. Like everyone else, though, flawed. And you've got people in your life, you look at it that way. I'm conflicted on this because a lot of the reasons why I hold Coach Woody Hayes in high regard, Bobby Knight did a lot of the same things. So that's where I'm conflicted on this, on how to react to Bobby Knight's passing. Nonetheless, 83 years old, fantastic at what he did as a coach, not the best as far as what you would do as a human being. But and I don't mean to kick dirt on the guy, but Bobby Knight, like I said, one of the most successful, if not the most successful college basketball coach ever, based on longevity and what he was able to do. But passed away at the age of 83, a former Buckeye. Bobby Knight, though. Follow me on the X, at It Happens, where you can find me. We'll talk more about Ohio State Rutgers, more about men's basketball getting underway Monday, women's basketball getting underway Monday. So we'll talk again soon about all of that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Fan Stream Sports is a place to go, folks. Have a great day.